Thank you for joining us on another episode of Talking Chaos. I am the Condor, as usual, and joined with me, my cohort, my skipper, as it were. Last week, I said he was my skipper. I really like skipper. Like, we need those hats, frankly. This is Fred. We're
Hey,
live.
Fred. Hey, guys. I was going to say, your hetero life mate.
If I am the heroic hyperbole of this interaction, you are my savior of a cynic. Today I want to talk about boredom.
Okay.
But boredom is one of those weird things. Like, I've heard of the phrase boredom fatigue. You can literally feel shitty from having nothing to do. Yeah.
Well, so, all right.
I've experienced boredom fatigue as an adult. Absolutely.
Interesting. No, so for me, like for example, we had recently we had a social interaction. Like my wife and I had like social interaction with other people, and like I guess this isn't necessarily boredom, but it's the like you get so like all right drained out by other people that like today, like yesterday was the like we had social interaction and everything, and now today we're like, you know what, I don't want to see anyone. We need to hit the grocery store for a couple of things, but other than that, don't fucking plan on doing shit.
Yep, I'm not leaving the house.
Absolutely. But no, like I've not boredom fatigue.
Have you never heard that?
I've not, like, just the like you're so bored you're tired, or like
yeah,
you're so
basically
bored, like I mean, yeah, like when I get like, all right, I'm so bored I've got nothing else to do, and like I'll just start like
yeah, that's what happens. Is I used to watch my dad do it all the time. He would turn on the television in the middle of the day. It'd be 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and less than 15 minutes later, he's asleep.
In a recliner.
On the couch, usually. But yeah, the couch reclined. So it was like, this is the 21st century.
The couch recliner.
Yeah, my TV reclines at this point. But like, we do weird stuff when we're bored as adults. We do even weirder stuff when we're bored as kids. I guess it's hard for me to measure instances of boredom because, like, I used to build a lot of outdoor, we would call them tree houses, but really they were land houses because we weren't getting up in a tree and we didn't have, like, hammer and nails. We just, like, assembled a wooden structure on the land.
Okay.
It was a tree house, but, like, in the literal sense, like a house made of trees. Right. Not a house in a tree. That should be called a house in a tree instead of a tree house. But in reality, most houses are made from trees, right?
Yeah. Most are made of wood, yes. Wood and plaster and other such things.
I digress. But I would go out and build these, like, wooden structures. Yeah, forts. And I can't really explain to you if I did it because I was bored or because I wanted to do it.
Or you were fascinated by it, and the like you could and not necessarily fascinated, but the like your mental like the mental aspect of it was the engineering portion. Like at that age, like I can do this and put this on top of it and put these things here.
But when I think about it as an adult, I was like, it was just kids' busy work. Like, it's not like I was building a house to live in. And it wasn't, like, but barely structurally sound. Give it a few weeks, it was going to fall over.
But would you, like, go and, like, have fun in this fort? Or would you just, like, your objective was to build the fort?
I think that question is somehow presenting me with more conclusions about what this experience was like for me, but I think I enjoyed the act of building the fort more than having
playing it.
Yeah, like in our hometown. No, dude, it was more like 11, 12, 13.
Oh, okay.
In our hometown, I would go off into the wooded areas between one of the other neighboring towns, which was very close. You know it. It
Hmm.
was like a rival in high school.
Yeah.
They had their own educational system and whatever. But I would go in between the two towns and like build a fort and
Hmm.
then go find another location, build another fort. And I just kept doing, I would never remain. I was a very nomadic 12-year-old.
So you would like build these forts, and then like other kids would find them like weeks later and be like, "What the fuck?"
I mean, I think now that I'm thinking about this, like way deeper than I ever have, this must have been terrifying for people who just saw this. Like, if you're on a trail, say you walk the same trail every week, and every week there are just more of these stick structures, I would be like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
I see that they're building a paintball course or some shit
right,
here.
what happens in the nighttime? I find myself on YouTube a lot as an adult to combat boredom.
Mm.
And I find myself watching sometimes the news. Sometimes I watch other people build houses because I'm bored. Like, I don't know what to look up. Sometimes I look up stand-up comedy, or I'll watch shows from other countries that are free access on YouTube.
Mm.
But the internet is my go-to. Like, I'm bored. Let's
Escape
go find
from
stuff.
reality.
Yeah, well, kind of. Like, let's go find stimuli. That's really the only.
Okay.
And the best source of stimuli in the 21st century is the internet. There's no doubt about it.
Oh, absolutely.
What do you do? What do you do when you're bored? Do you get bored, or like
I do
have
absolutely.
such a fucking busy life that you just like, I don't even have time for boredom. You luxurious white piece of trash, you.
No, like, okay, so there are times where I have like busy instances, but for the most part, like I do have like, particularly at like, unfortunately at work, there are times where like, all right, I have 3 hours till, you know, the end of the day, and like you're sitting there like, you know, responding to emails, or like, you know, all right, I get bored and kind of, you know, daydream for a little bit, and then like, okay, it's been like, all right, I've been doing this for like 20 minutes, I should probably bring it back, and then like I look at the clock, it's like, fuck, it's been 3 minutes. But no, so for me, when I was younger, I had like, and I think I remember mentioning this in one of the previous episodes of the, like, I had this grandeur idea that I was going to be some like secret super spy agent type bullshit, and like that would be my daydream type shit, that when I got bored,
it's okay. You're a super spy to me. just remember that when you think about the life you could have had. Just Condor is they're like, whatever. I give up.
I was gonna let you go and see where that went, but no, like I would
off
like
an edge of a cliff. That's where it went. Like nowhere.
But no, like I'd have these great grandeur, like in my head, like I'd be saving the world or some shit. But like in reality, I'm just, you know, sitting in my bedroom doing.
What were you doing in these daydreams? Like, were you Jason Bourne, or were you the guy behind the desk orchestrating the op?
Oh no, I'd absolutely be like the operator type person.
You were Jason Bourne.
Yeah.
You wanted to be an asset.
The best analogy I can give you is Sam Fisher from Splinter Cell.
I am embarrassed to say that I didn't play a lot of Splinter Cell.
That's unfortunate. It's a great game. But no,
I bet you like Tom Clancy too, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But no, like
sometimes I think about how similar you and I are, and then other times we could not be farther from the same person.
Well, but that's also good, because if we were the same person, that'd be a bit concerning.
Well, the cool part is that you're making me feel better about the daydreams that I had when I was bored as a kid in the classroom or whatever, because instead of being Sam Fisher, I was the president.
Interesting.
That was my ridiculous pipe dream. Like, I wanted to be passing strict, rigorous legislation. I wanted to impact America's lives, like all that cliche bullshit. I was like 16 years old. Give me a break.
Back when you thought you could change the world.
No, absolutely.
No, and so like
I
you
thought
mentioned,
the world was deserving of change.
but so you mentioned like the internet and how like it impacts boredom to like these days. And like, so for not too long ago, mostly what I did was go search on YouTube and either find like how-to videos or like fucking like video game like secret stuff and whatnot. And I ended up and recently it's been that I found like motivational speakers and or like
Some Tony Robbins shit.
I don't know who Tony Robbins is. Mine's more like David Goggins.
Tony Robbins, I think, was the guy who made the cameo in that Gwyneth Paltrow movie with Jack Black and Jason Alexander.
You're making some obscure reference that I've
No, you've seen this movie because it's like a ridiculously dumb movie that is kind of classy. He sees the chick as a beautiful woman, but she's like a fat pig.
Oh, Shallow Hal?
Yeah, Tony Robbins is the guy that curses him.
I've actually never seen Shallow Hal.
Okay, so there are two things that we are mutually embarrassed about. I don't know what Splinter Cell is, and you've never seen Shallow Hal. Our entire audience can feel shame for us, mutually. A disdain that spreads across the internet in all audio forms.
Well, but what's great is I've been listening to recently motivational speakers and stuff like that, and what's really funny is it has inspired me to do absolutely nothing.
I don't know what noise I just made, but it brought me great joy to know that like these people are trying so hard to inspire you, and there's no result.
No. Well, okay, like there are some impacts, like it's small things, but it's not anything that's like greatly impacting my life. Like, hey, like get out, like for me it's more the get off my ass and go run, or like, you know, something like that, like because, you know, physically fit military is a good thing.
Yeah, I've never worked anywhere where they like want me to do PT.
Yeah, no, it's kind of a job requirement for us.
Yeah, that's insane. Can you imagine though, like here at Charlotte Roos, we think that it's important that you run at least 10 miles a day. Which is hilarious if you know what Charlotte Roos is.
That's like the people.
Clothes for bigger people.
I'm aware. Or like fucking working at like Foot Locker and being the fat guy in the back.
I think every Foot Locker should have a fat guy in the back, though. Like,
I mean, yeah. But
even the phrase Foot Locker sounds like big guys are involved. You want to tell me it doesn't? It's like gut instinct. And the smells that I don't know. I'm a weird guy. A lot of multi-sensory sort of things happening.
I mean, you can smell like the new leather and rubber and shit like that, but...
No, feet. Feet is what I smell. Yeah, like old socks. Old socks in a gym bag is like the olfactory thing happening when I hear the word Foot Locker.
Do you think they like push it out like in a perfume like they do at Abercrombie, or what is it?
Oh my God. Do you have any idea how bad I want Foot Locker to make a perfume now? Smell like the worst thing that you wear. Foot Locker. That would be fantastic. Obviously, we get bored here at Talking Chaos. The conversations go awry. They'll go in any direction. At any given moment, we don't know what the fuck we're going to do next. We try to plan some of this show out, but we're not the... I'm not the planning type. I'm much more like, hey, let's just hit record and see what happens. Yeah.
Like we're doing right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that. So we're going to take this very interesting topical pause to thank our sponsors, our Patreon, our patrons. If it sounds like I can't talk, it's because I can't. I went to an urban, rural school. We're just going to chalk it up to that. They didn't exactly.
Urban rural school? What?
Yeah, it was a confusing place. I told you.
I went there too.
Dude, it was, though. It was, like, weirdly both of those things. Yeah, more rural than urban, but there was a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. This is what happens when we're bored. If you like this show and you like how random our thoughts are, go to our Patreon at patreon.com/talkingchaos. Really pushing for the $25 bracket because there's only 10 of them. They're going, well, they're not going very fast right now, but you guys could change that. I'm not embarrassed to talk about where we sit right now. We're 21 episodes. This is the 21st episode of the show.
We're legally able to drink now.
Yep, we're legally able to drink, so we're doing it, both of us, this episode. Lots of that happening. That's another thing that happens when you're bored, is people like to get fucked up when they're bored.
This is true.
How many times have you been fucked up because you were bored?
Too many.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. You're asking for a number figure on something I can't provide.
Are we counting blackouts exclusively? Because I'm not sure still. I've always found music to be really cool when I'm bored. Like, no matter what the state is, if I've got time and I'm bored and I turn some music on, suddenly I want to be more productive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it motivates me in a weird way. Where are you taking me?
I'm getting more alcohol.
Oh, all right. That's fine. That's okay. I'm all right with that. There are parts of where you are that I don't want to be.
Oh, no, I'm not going to, I wouldn't take you to the pisser.
I know, audience. This is a fourth wall break. We're talking about what we're doing as we're doing it. It's very, very strange. But you guys, sometimes he just takes me on an adventure. And, like, for those of you that know, I've been in a crate for a couple of weeks. So, like,
He's finally back in his cage.
Yeah.
Literally flew the coop.
What, Reddit's a pretty cool thing when you're bored.
Oh, absolutely. Imgur, Reddit and Imgur are the two that are, like, the top popular ones for me. I went from Imgur to Reddit. In all honesty, like, I started off with Imgur and was like, this is absolutely where I want to be, mostly because it's the visual aspect of, like, there's stupid memes and pictures and everything like that. But, like,
comic books, I find a lot of internet comics on Imgur.
Yeah. And so eventually I ended up switching over to Reddit because it's very similar, but there's a significantly more topics covered. And, like, you can go and delve down into, like, oh, well, I want to read about this topic today. And so, like, of this specific thing, here's all the things that people talk about this one specific thing. And so that's where I started enjoying Reddit.
Well, audience members out there, if you find yourself bored and you're on Reddit, we have a subreddit, Talking Chaos Podcast subreddit. Check us out. There's some other things. We discuss episodes. We try to cultivate conversation.
We have a chat.
Really, it's up to you guys to do more to help us out with this.
We can only do so much.
Right, yeah, we're only two people. It's really hard to have a thread going when it's just two people. And
really, it's just us.
Yeah, like
we can't really comment back and forth on the same episode that we already did.
Yeah, we don't have a lot to say at that point. I do want to give a shout out to our Virginia listeners. You guys are one of the top 5 states of people listening across the country, across the world, internationally. So cheers to you guys. We're going to take a drink for you real quick. And I'm going to actually, this is going to be the end of the trimmed portion of the episode. If you want to listen to the longer, more extended, uncut, full Bush version for Patreon exclusive members, again, I think the title implies what you guys have to do. Check out our Patreon. So if you want to hear the rest of this conversation about boredom, check us out there.